Hey everyone, so I figured I'd make a video on this hero. It's probably going to be the last trial hero I ever get. Um, but just because of, how things are going with Ace, but regardless, I figured I'd make a video to help you guys if you're on the fence of pulling this hero. I know some of the other content creators have made videos on her, so you have some things to reference. Obviously, she can be used in Queen of Tides. You're still going to need some impressive gear, on your damage dealers. You're still going to need specific heroes, but she does provide you some kind of additional support, to be used in Queen of Tides. Heroes like this, I'm not a huge fan of, like where they have a very niche aspect of the game to be used. The nice thing is, I don't think she needs books or ascensions to be useful in those areas, but I don't know if she's worth the pull. The nice thing is her banner is actually with Flaming Mila, who I think is fantastic. Flaming Mila just makes a lot of things super easy, which is cool. I do think this hero probably is going to be relevant in Guild versus Environment, just because her ultimate has a really interesting mechanic, reducing cooldowns of single target damage. That's kind of nice. But yeah, other than that, if you're wanting to progress further in Queen of Tides, you really like the Wrath set, you're really into Guild versus Environment, Wrath is really good there. It also helps you, progress in some of the other dungeons. I've just gotten to the point where I really don't farm anything anymore. I just play RTA every once in a while. I jump in and do Guild versus Guild. I'll kind of do Guild versus Environment, but that's about it at this point. So yeah, this hero, I tried to pull for her, I didn't get her, whatever. I didn't really care. If you do have her and you're wondering how to, build her, the Salvation set is a great option for her. So, her ultimate, which is on a three turn cooldown, naturally heals everybody, so you will get the Salvation set there. So you'll eventually pump, your heroes up, to the max 5 stacks, which is really good. She's one of the best wares for Salvation, behind Flarence and also Light Ophelia. In regards to her kit, the negative effects applied by water enemies, this is good on both Rift of Chaos Water and Queen of Tides. The Ascension is relevant. I was playing her on stream and testing out some things, and her Ascension is, I guess, necessary for people that don't have great gear. I know some of the other content creators have much better gear than me, and they're more PvE focused. So they didn't need to ascend her or anything like that to beat Queen of Tides stage 20. I did. I needed this Ascended 5 because the crab on the left actually applies attack down on your team. So if you don't have this Ascended, her trait will proc whenever the queen puts up a stun or something like that. So then she'll activate this, and if you don't have it Ascended, the crab will then go in, do an AoE, and put attack down on your team members. And the thing with Queen is, she kind of ramps up over time, similar to the Rift bosses. You need to kill her in a certain amount of time, or she's just going to AoE you and do huge damage. So you do need to kill her quick, and that crab putting attack down was relevant for me. So that's kind of where that comes in. I'm not quite sure the relevance of it in Rift of Chaos Water Boss, but I will show you a team there. I'm not going to show you a Queen of Tides team just because I'd have to rebuild people, and I don't want to do that. So her basic, the defense pierce up, is pretty nice for a couple different reasons. One, it's a buff, so it helps with, using her alongside Muriel, which helps deal additional damage for the amount of buffs on your heroes. It also counts as a buff for Rift of Chaos, where if you don't have X amount of buffs, you get frozen. So this is really nice. And then on top of that, Defense Pierce has been shown to be a really, really strong effect. We've seen that with Flaming Mila. Defense Pierce up tends to have some kind of different coding within the game where it does more damage than ignoring 100% defense or 80% defense or something like that. I don't know where that all ties in, but it is a very strong buff. Her special ability is, again, very nice. Removing the negative effect on team members and then healing them while placing block is very strong. This is, again, a very nice thing to have for Rift of Chaos because the additional buff is very nice. Reducing damage is also very good. Not much to say about that. And then the ultimate, healing all team members, is a pretty nice heal. The single target damage abilities is kind of weird. I'm not smart enough to know why this is important. You know, most of the single target damage dealers in Earth, you know, like Hyunwoo or Lee's or Guan Yu, like they don't really even care about their ultimate abilities. They kind of just basic ability and then get stuff off of their special abilities, you know, doing extra attacks, true health damage, things like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd. I think this is for the purpose alongside Guild versus Environment heroes, whether it's, you know, like Arlo, maybe Meritome, you know, things like that, where you want to activate these big damage dealing units. Miyakasa, you know, where you just want to keep reducing the cooldowns of their big nukes. It really doesn't apply to someone like Abaddon, obviously, because his is always off cooldown, but yeah. So that is that, but the shield is kind of nice too, because again, it serves as another buff. So overall, good kit, good leader ability. You don't need an Ascension, her Ascended 5, or, you know, books. It's not really necessary, so that is a positive. But I will say that I don't think she's a must-have. The ability, like in other areas of the game, you know, the immunity to negative effects with water enemies, the only real water enemy hero that's meta is Adelan that they just introduced. So she does counter her, but I don't see anyone, you know, playing her in top PvP. I just don't see that being a thing. You know, by the time Adelan goes, if she is first in the turn order and she cleanses, there you already have Karma, you already have Royce, you have Kelowna. You know, those are already huge counters to Adelan, and they counter other things that are relevant in the meta. So I doubt people are going to pick her over, you know, the aforementioned 3 characters. So I think she is just a PvE hero. I do recognize her as someone similar to Adelan, but Adelan is extremely strong in PvP, and she's very good in Ash Magisteria. So she's miles ahead of this new hero, but Adelan does need the investment where this hero does not. So I guess that is the trade-off. So some of the dungeon teams that you can use. So the one that I used to clear Queen of Tides was Muriel, Guan Yu, and Cordelia. So I used this team, but I did need to increase the speed of both Cordelia and Guan Yu, which is, again, I don't want to rebuild these heroes. But this is the team that got me there. I think there was a little bit of RNG because the Muriel is in Resonance set. So, I mean, I doubt if it's even 100% clear, but there's been, like I said, a couple of other content creators that have stage 20 teams out there, so you can go check those out. In regards to Rift of Chaos, this team is a nice clear. The problem is you still have the Jocasta that has the S3 on cooldown, so she's fully booked. And then the Hyunwoo is booked as well. The Elise is not. She's just level 60. No books or anything like that. The Shane is not booked either. And again, this hero is A5 and fully booked, but you don't need it just because all of these heroes have enough buffs from her cleansing putting on the block and shield, and then you have like the damage over time heal over time with Jocasta, the immunity, the defense up. You have this heal and the shield set. So we'll just run through this real quick. I'll talk over it, and then we'll get out of here. So, long story short, I think this hero is solid. Like, you saw her immune proc right there. What that did was it made sure that our team members did not get the frozen seal. So that's what she's going to be stopping here. She will be immune to the freeze. She ends up using her special ability a couple different times there. That's because of the AoE damage. I didn't really touch on that when I was talking about her kit. Whenever she takes AoE damage, she gains this 1 rage, or whenever she's negating negative effects. So, with the amount of positive effects that are going on here, you don't need to worry about the frozen. The nice thing with Elise and Hyun Woo, they get positive effects on themselves from either their basic ability or their passives, so you don't really have to worry about getting frozen. The only thing that you want to try and avoid is that frozen seal. That's where the books or the Ascension might actually come in handy, but as you see here, she's fully booked and ascended, and I'm still getting the frozen seal. So some of her survivability might obviously be tied to the books, but I think if you have, nice relics, reducing damage against water bosses or something like that, you won't need to worry about the survivability. So, yeah, this'll just play over, but this team, in my opinion, isn't something that you want to build anyway. This boss is so much easier if you just have an Ackerly. I know some people don't have her, but Ackerly is definitely one of the top heroes that you want to try and target with those Matrix items where you get to pick a hero. If you don't have Ackerly, she is definitely one of your top picks. Her, Badmar, Flaming Milet, like all these heroes that make things just super easy and can be used in a couple different areas is who you want to be, using those Matrix on. So I'm just showcasing this just in case, you guys are looking for ways to use this hero. She's obviously a Queen Specialist. With some added application to Rift of Chaos. I'm sure she has some application with Guild versus Environment. The thing is like her whole mechanic with the freezes and stuff like that, it might have some relevance in the water mini boss, but the water mini boss is just absolutely destroyed by Rachel, so she's not really relevant there. I don't know if the dark boss has that. Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't, because it's only water bosses. So yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Her relevance in other areas other than Queen is just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't seem super relevant. So if you're looking for a Queen hero, and you don't have Flaming Mila either, you should probably pull on it. It's a decent thing, minimal investment. So that's kind of good. As we round this out, I'll just say, guys, from what I was talking about the other day, me not making a whole lot of content, it's just because it's not worth it anymore. Getting the in-game rewards just don't make any sense anymore. It's just, you get not enough of them. So we'll make some videos here and there that, I think are relevant and help you guys. But, putting out a bunch of different content every single day to maximize rewards just isn't going to be a thing. We'll just make content like this, showing a new hero, maybe putting out a new tier list every once in a while. Just content that I think is valuable. Not to say that I was putting out content before that wasn't valuable. Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, now we're only going to put out like things that I think are relevant. So we're rounding this out. I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, this team here is pretty basic. It's just, the Hyun Woo in the typical crit rate, high crit rate with assassin set to go in there and oh wow, did this fail? It didn't, but it was close. Yeah. All right, I'm out of here. See ya.